My name is Jim Anderson, or James Anderson. I'm the artistic director of the Short Center Repertory, who produced the show that you're going to see tonight. And I'm also the Special Projects Outreach Director for Developmental Disabilities Service Organization, DDSO, who has sponsored the Short Center Repertory since 1988.
Yay!
So I also want to thank the National Arts and Disability Center and the California Arts Council and the Ellen and Mary Short Endowment, whose generous support has made this evening, this particular production, available to you in the comfort of your own home. So speaking of home, the COVID-19 pandemic has called on all of us to adapt in place. So for 30 years, the Short Center Repertory was producing plays in theaters, and that means that an ensemble of actors were training and producing a play live on a stage in a theater, waiting for the live audience to arrive and complete the energy that makes theater a special art form. This evening's show was originally being developed in that direction at E+ Studios, which is in DDSO video training program for adults with developmental and cognitive disabilities. But in March, DDSO's 4 art training centers, including E+ Studios, were forced to close in response to the pandemic. So we adapted. And since April, like many of you, we have had to learn what we do to do what we do online. It's been a steep learning curve. First, because Zoom was designed for business conferences, not for theatrical performances. And secondly, in order to fully serve our blind, low vision audience, we had to invent an entirely different parallel system through Microsoft Teams to allow the soundtrack that you will hear tonight on Zoom to be added to with a voiceover by an audio describer describing what sighted viewers will see on their screens tonight. All of this, as you can imagine, is what caused our steep learning curve. By the way, Thursday night's performance will we will add American Sign Language for our deaf and hard of hearing audience. So this is those two things, the audio description and the American Sign Language interpretation, are the Short Center Repertory's commitment to total inclusion. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh yes, so all of that technical stuff is what we had to get right, plus adapting our performance to performance on Zoom, which being a totally different medium, caused us to sort of reinvent ourselves as performers. Now, because we are actors and not IT specialists, if there are some glitches in tonight's performance, just accept it as part of the performance and roll along with us until the end. Zoom has got both advantages and challenges, and the biggest challenge of all is to create a show that recreates ensemble, the living experience of performance, even though we're all living in our separate little boxes. How to awaken the essential energy of theater that takes place between actors and an audience. And tonight, because you are the audience, your energy coming back to us, our energy going out to you, will create the bridge to complete that collaboration.
A clown, Chunky Brewster, with red nose, hair and pigtails on the top of her head, purple and blue curly ribbons hanging down, red lipstick, red cheeks. She brushes her pigtails, looks from left to right. She holds a book, blue shirt, bright purple suspenders, purple skirt, white dots. She pops one suspender, smiles, looks to one side, looks to the other, again a broad smile. Behind her is a bed filled with stuffed animals and purple painting walls. She strokes one of the animals behind her, smiles, leans forward slightly, holds up a very large book, opens it, reads it, moving her head slightly from side to side. She leans forward, touches that red nose, smiles again, broad smile. Another clown, this is Rainbow. She has medium brown hair, coarse a red nose, white ruffled collar, brightly colored puffy sleeve dress. She plays with her collar, leans forward, smiles, she turns and walks around her room, white walls, puts her hands to her cheeks, goes to a bureau behind her, finger to her chin, turns to look at the bureau, hand on hip, turns to one side, turns to the other. She looks down, looks towards us, points, looks to the right, again looks towards us, head slightly tilted, looks off to her right, again looks to her right, looks forward, hand on chin, peering around the room. Leans forward, tiptoes off to one side, and disappears. She comes close. Her face is close to us, and now she disappears. The screen is black. Clown with red sequin beret and a bright black rimmed glasses, a red nose, scratches his head. A pale yellow shirt with purple, blue, other colored vertical stripes. He puts his hands to his chest, turns all around. He's in a white room with wooden beams at the top. Looks closer towards us, face kind of tilted to one side. Around his neck are various scarves. He looks down at the necklace. He's also wearing a yellow tie, yellow polka dots, brown background. He looks from side. He picks up his tie, again looking all around from right to left, fingers to lips, looking surprised. Puts his hands towards us, palms facing to us, slowly moving backwards, farther backward, hands to mouth, and he disappears. The screen is black. We see a cane, only the cane, waving from side to side, red beads, blue beads hanging off of it, pom-poms, silver or gold in color. The cane waves from side to side. A clown appears, it's Giselle. Red nose, she's looking up, red bandana, long sparkly earrings, and incredibly sparkly, bright colored gold sequin blouse trimmed with black as well. She smiles. The cane moves, is barely visible, moving off to one side. She grabs it, again waving in front of her. She looks puzzled. Now she looks more towards us. She puts her ear towards us. We can barely see anything other than her head. Now she puts her other ear towards us, listening. Her mouth opens wide, a smile. She looks off to the right, leans so forward, her face fills the screen. We see her broad smile, her nose. Now she leans back. She walks back, her hand is to an ear. She again raises her highly decorated cane. She walks backwards and disappears, and the screen goes black. Another clown, Happy Buey, he waves to us. Olive green cap with white flowers on it, an olive green shirt. He picks up a blue blanket that's decorated with different objects or animals. He nods his head yes, leans back. Behind him is a white room with different paintings on the wall. He holds up the blanket, covers his face, now puts it around his neck, covering his head. He's encircled with it. He looks to the right, to the left, again smiling slightly, scratches his cheek, tips his hat, raises in the head, nods his head towards us, looks off to his right, picks up a basketball. Actually, it's a pillow that's decorated to look like a basketball, raises it over his head, puts it next to him, disappears, as if bouncing it up and down, up and down, up and down, repeatedly up and down, a big smile, puts it behind him, in front of him, raises his hand, he disappears and the screen goes black. Another clown, this is Happy Day. He waves his hand, as all clowns, has a red nose, a green plaid hat with green brim. He waves his hand. Around his wrist is a masking tape dispenser, or a roll of masking tape. He twirls it in his hands, twirling it faster and faster and faster and faster till it's almost a blur. Waves his hand up and down, hands raised over him, and fingers slowly trickling down, with the fingers almost filling the entirety of the screen. Fingers again trickling in front of us. Hands raised, palms together, going to the left. Now the hands are open. He looks up, brings up a green bell that he rings, matching the green of his hat. He looks up, looks to the side, rolls his eyes slightly. He's also wearing a green shirt, picks up a phone, puts it to his ear, moves away, puts to his ear, says something, back to his ear, nods his head, his nose falls off, screen goes black. Another clown, Conster. He has dark hair, of course a red nose, black beard. He looks quizzical. Black beard, very short beard, mustache, purple jacket over a bright orange shirt. Behind him on the wall are two straw sombreros with red brims. He leans forward, he smiles, he waves his index fingers on both hands, waves his hands again, smiles, raises his eyebrows, waves his hands around his head, smiles again, waves hello. Conster looks puzzled, blinks his eyes, looks up at the ceiling, looks back down towards us. Again, brow furrowed, hand facing toward us, palms up, tilts his head slightly, raises his eyebrows, and disappears. It is now Jambo. Jambo has a green background, black, barely visible hair. The screen goes black. A thin black mustache, black glasses, and of course a red nose. In his hand is a yellow toy with some green heads on it and a green and white striped handle. There is a happy face on the body, the yellow body of the toy. He bounces it a little bit from side to side. He is wearing a royal blue tie-dyed shirt. Picks up another stuffed toy. It is a little toy tiger. He bounces it from side to side, from one side of his head to the other, and now the tiger's head bounces back and forth, moving so rapidly it's a blur. And he disappears. The screen is black. This is Lazy, another clown. He is lit in purple light, wearing pink glasses, of course a red nose, short hair, purple and blue vertically striped shirt with dark blue navy suspenders. He nods his head, taps his shirt, moves his monitor so we see his very decorated room. There is a desk, a chair. He waves his hand, inviting us to look at his room. Many pictures are on the wall, a bed with sheets. He points to even more pictures adorning his room. There is a bureau and a TV in the back corner, a light. Moves the monitor slowly. He ducks his head in front of the monitor, smiling broadly, disappears. The next clown is slow-mo, wearing a red hat, red jacket over a navy shirt with white stars on it, similar to the American flag. He's sitting in a black chair, black high-back desk chair that it swivels. He has black glasses, a short, well-trimmed black beard and mustache. He takes off his hat, puts it back on his head, scoots away, so he's barely visible over his chair. His back is turned to us. He swivels back to look at us. He's wearing white pants. He looks to one side, then the other. Behind him is a white couch, white walls. He raises his head and scratches his head. Hat is back in place. He comes closer and closer to us. His face almost filling the monitor. He takes his glasses down, scratches his eyebrows slightly, rubs his eyes as his glasses are off, his face filling the monitor. Now he backs away slightly. This is Sir Jello, another clown, a white wall room. He turns to look at his glasses, puzzled. The screen goes black. Black hat with a black and white check brim, black and white check shirt, gray hair, black rimmed glasses. He cups a hand to his ear, looking all around him. Long blue scarf around his neck. His mouth is open. He peers closer and closer to us, his face almost filling the monitor, eyes filling the monitor. He backs away, fingers to his lips. He looks from side to side, playing somewhat with his scarf, looking off to the right, picking up an object. It is a circular silver disc. He peers through it to look at us, slowly backing away, now coming forward, looking closer and closer to us. The silver disc fills the screen. He backs away, again looks startled, now a broad smile, a big smile. He tilts his head from one side to the other, again smiling. Next clown is nosy. He slowly pulls his hand away from the monitor. He has a red cap on backward, thick black curly hair, of course a red nose, a slight beard, and a mustache. He smiles, nods his head, again nodding, looks a little puzzled, looks up at his ceiling, looks to the side, a broad smile, laughing smile, picks up a stuffed kitty cat. It's white. He strokes it, nodding his head, puts it to his cheek, hugs it, moving from side to side, raises his eyebrows, nods. The cat comes closer and closer. The cat. Another clown, Chip off the block. He is writing on a piece of paper as well. The screen goes black cowboy hat, a dark colored shirt with vertical stripes of orchids on it. He holds up a long rope, looking at it, stretches it out. Behind him are shelves of many books, shelves almost reaching to the ceiling. At the end of the rope is a stapler. The rope has been tied around the stapler. He nods his head yes. He picks up the stapler, picks up a piece of paper. On the piece of paper is written, "Secret Plans." He reads it. He looks to the right and the left, looks up, looks at us, startles, looks at the secret plans, looks back, closes the secret plans, and moves them out of our view. The screen goes dark.
come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ah.
Aja mama. Aja mama. Aja. Aja mama. Cha.
What? Kita baca kan? Oh, itu makan tu. Saja. Oh, kau kerja apa?
Baba? Okay.
I got back to go.
Ada. Halala. La 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 la. Oh 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 oh. Pop 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 pop. Ah ya ya.
Very cool. Oh, hello. Kamadoodle. Hello? Ego? Oh, be. Oh, oh. Ah. Is it? Oh. Ready?
I'm here now.
Ah, good, good. Ooh, ooh,
You try my big god. Hey. You do this and we do that. Whoa. They go. More piggy.
Yeah, Whoppy.
Yeah.
Aman Bram. Bram.
Hey,
What Bram? Memory.
hey, hey, Debbie.
Oh,
Pooh,
Bram. Bram.
pooh, hey,
Oh.
pooh, hey. Hi guys, hey, hồi đầu ngầu đấy kì, hey,
Oh,
hey,
man.
go, go.
How many beats you bet?
Hey, hey, Kai, ha, ha, pooh.
Oh.
Hey, hey.
Hurrah. Oh.
Hey, cô, ở bên nào, hey, hang hang, who there? Hey, hey. Hey, go, woo, go, woo. Hey, hey. Go.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Oh.
Banana.
Yeah. Mm.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not easy rinsing with this little tiny dot on this little tiny screen. When I think it could be so much nicer in my bed, safe from the cold, or something much easier, breezier than that. You know it's not easy rinsing. It seems too small to capture ordinary things. And people look and you're too far over 'cause you're not standing smack dab in the center. And your chin's up too high. But Zoom is the latest thing. And Zoom can be cool and friendly, you see. And Zoom can be deep like the ocean, or rich like a fountain, or solid like a tree. If Zoom is all there is to be, well, it can make you wonder why. But why wonder why I'm seen and it's just fine. You're all beautiful and this is just where I wanna be. It's not easy being seen, and then you forget you're on the screen, and you think you're muted, but you're not. Somehow you forgot, and you're disturbing the whole room. Oh, it's not easy here on Zoom, with so many invites to so many meeting rooms. You find yourself waiting in the wrong one, thinking they locked you out, 'cause they saw you in your pajamas last time. But Zoom is the latest thing, and Zoom can be cool and friendly, don't you see? And Zoom can be deep like the ocean, or rich like a fountain, or solid like a tree. If Zoom is all there is to be, well, it can make you wonder why. But why wonder why we can all be seen? And it's just fine. You're all beautiful, and this is just where we need to be.
Ooh.
Yay!
Oh, we see you on test. We see you Thursday.